Good day. I, Aloy Rivera, will be discussing Chapter 8 together with my group mates Rosalie Spirito, Kisha May Ubias, and Janice Pida. Chapter 8 is about the DevCom methodological frameworks. This lesson is all about the how-to, the practical blueprint we use to turn DevCom principles into real-world projects. We will cover the steps for designing communication strategies, choosing the right tools, and understanding the core foundation of our work in constructivism. Let us first be familiar with frameworks definition. A framework is essentially the blueprint or step-by-step guide for using DevCom. It provides the basic structure that ensures the core DevCom principles like participation, dialogue, and local relevance are applied from the very start to the very end of any development project. Think of it like a recipe. The DevCom framework tells you what ingredients or principles to use and when to add them to get the desired result. This lesson focuses on how to actually do DevCom in the real world. First, methodological and practical applications. This covers the how-to for applying DevCom principles across all phases of the project, such as gathering information, designing messages, and monitoring results. Steps to design or manage strategies. This teaches us the systematic process for planning and implementing our communication plan. Example, a step is to segment your audience. If your goal is to promote vaccination, you need a different communication strategy for community leaders versus young mothers. Appropriate methods or tools. This identifies which specific DevCom tools like radio, community theater, or social media work best for different situations and people. Example, using community radio, a tool, is more appropriate than a glossy brochure for reaching illiterate farmers in remote areas. At the end of this discussion, you are expected to be first familiarized with basic DevCom principles. The goal is for us to clearly understand the fundamental ideas that drive all DevCom work. These principles center on dialogue, empowering people, and using local knowledge. Second, apply principles in a community DevCom project. The ultimate aim is to equip you to actually create and run your own successful DevCon project in a community setting. Now, theoretical and paradigmatic foundation. Theories and paradigms. Theories helps us make sense of reality. Example, why people adapt new ideas. Paradigms, on the other hand, are widely accepted successful models that guide research and problem solving in a field. DevCom's constructive root. DevCom is based on constructivism, the idea that reality is socially constructed. This means that people in a community create their understanding of the world, like what causes sickness or poverty, through shared experiences and conversations. For an instance, if a community constructs the idea that an illness is caused by an evil spirit instead of a poor sanitation, your DevCom campaign can't just talk about germs. It must first respectfully acknowledge their belief and use dialogue to collaboratively reconstruct a more beneficial understanding that includes hygiene practices. Next is communication's role. Communication is the essential tool for working with these socially constructed realities. Now, in assessing, probing, and reconciling, communication helps us understand what different people believe and then find a shared, workable solution and reconcile when their views conflict. Example, in a project to save a forest, the local government might see it as a timber, while the indigenous community sees it as a home. DevCom facilitates a dialogue to reconcile these views by collaboratively creating a sustainable logging and conservation plan. Communication also helps in analyzing political dimensions. Communication is key to understanding the power dynamics, who makes the decisions, and who has a voice within a community. Example, A seemingly simple water project might be controlled by a powerful village elder. DevCom must analyze this political dimension and design communication to ensure that the primary water collectors also have a voice in where the new well is placed. Wide consensus on basic principles. The 2007 World Congress on Communication for Development created a shared agreement on the core beliefs of DevCom, solidifying its place as a recognized development approach centered on dialogue, ownership, and social change. This consensus means DevCom professionals worldwide agree that participation is non-negotiable. Any DevCom project should use tools like community dialogues, not just top-down information handouts.
Good day, everyone. I will be the one who assigned to report dialogic, inclusive, and persuasive. So, let's go first on dialogue. When dialogue is the heart of a new paradigm, it means there's no one-sided. Instead, there's one person or group. Each one of you can speak and listen, respond, and etc. Example, you talk, and other person talk back also. So, it aims to build trust, optimize knowledge, and minimize risk. Build trust. People trust each other. Optimize knowledge allows everyone to their info, to share their info and ideas, etc. What is inclusive? Means everyone is included, especially people who are often left out. Let's go in inclusive. Means fairness, better decision. To make it start, everyone has a voice. Inclusive means fairness, better decision. In short, to make it short, everyone has a voice. Everyone has a capability to share their ideas and decision. Marginalized or disadvantaged, including their voices, ensures that their risk, experience, and concerns are considered in decision making.
A principle of development communication called heuristic, and that word means being investigated. So, in heuristic, in development communication, it is using communication to discover or solve problems in initial phases. So, it is used to discover or explore the real problems in a community before creating a project. So, example, sa pagiging heuristic, gagamitan natin dito ng pag-interview. Kunyari sa isang komunidad na may madaming kaso ng dengue. At dito natin madidiscover na ang pinaka-issue talaga, ang totoong issue ay ang poor waste management. So, ang heuristic is ang pagharap ng katotohanan gamit ng pag-communicate. Another principle of development communication is analytical. So the DevCom has a motto, and it is going beyond communicating. That quote means it is not just about sending message. So it means about analyzing information deeply to understand the social context of a community. And being analytical focuses on uncovering or generating knowledge to design better sustainable projects. So, being analytical is a guide to create an effective design that will help the community. So, to be analytical is to make sense of information para maging effective at kayang gawin ang isang proyekto. So, another principle of development communication is called participatory. Pag sinabing participatory, it means na kasali dito ang komunidad sa pagdesisyon at isa itong two-way of communication. So, di lang inform ang mga tao dito, kundi kasali. According to World Bank, there are 4 levels of participation. The first one is information sharing. So, this is a one way. So, dito, ang komunidad ay informed. And the second one is consultation primarily one way with feedback. So, of course, the community gives feedback to let them know what to do, of course. And the third one is collaboration, which is a two-way. So, dito, it involves decision making. And the last one is empowerment. So, transfer of control. Dito na masasabi na ang komunidad ay may control na talaga sa pag-desisyon at mga bagay.
So let's talk about contextual framework. It means that communication always be grounded in the specific social, cultural, political, and economic context of the community. Messages are not one size fits all. They must reflect local realities, traditions, and values. An example of this is in a rural barangay, health campaigns should use local language and familiar symbols to ensure people can understand and trust the messages. Contextualization ensures relevance and acceptance. Next is interdisciplinary approach. Development communication draws knowledge and methods from multiple disciplines such as sociology and media studies. Problems in development communication are complex, that no single discipline can solve them. Communication integrates from different fields to design effective solutions. An example for this is a livelihood program that may combine economic analysis, cultural studies, and communication strategies to empower farmers. Interdisciplinary and strengthens problem solving by connecting diverse perspectives. Next is strategic approach. Strategic approach means communication must be planned, purposeful, and directed toward clear development goals. It involves identifying objectives, audiences, channels, and evaluation methods. Strategic communication avoids random messaging and instead focuses on measurable impact. An example of this is, let's say, a campaign to reduce plastic waste may set special targets, use social media for youth and radio for older audiences, and monitor changes in their behavior. Strategic issues efficiency and effectiveness in achieving development outcomes. Uh, Overall, from this topic, we learned that contextual communication makes messages relevant. Interdisciplinary communication makes them holistic, and strategic communication makes them impactful. Together, this approach form a backbone of development communication, ensuring that efforts to inform, educate, and mobilize communities truly contribute to sustainable development. So that's all about my topic.
Let's go on persuasive. Means communicating in a way that influence people voluntarily. It aims to encourage people to accept ideas and to motivate also.